What's going on, internet? It's Cayce here. Consider this a new format for potential capsule vlogs / just thoughts, I guess. And this will also be the testing demographic. We'll call this the drive-by. Tested demographics, not the word. We'll call it the testing episode. So I will see how the quality or video, man, I'm all over the place vocally. The video and audio quality is for this. If it's too bad, you guys won't even see this. If it's doable, then you'll see what I'm saying. I want to do this for some time now, but one reason or another, forget the GoPro, didn't do it, wasn't driving this car, yada yada, doesn't matter. I kind of like to update, because it's been a little while since I've done a capsule vlog, talk about some prior stuff, but that's just the whole nest egg of stuff that I don't want to summarize and try to sit here and remember. But I want to talk about some more current stuff when I do these. And I guess Corona is a big talk about right now. It's so hard to I'm a very unbiased individual, so it's pretty hard for me to grab information and cling to it, because for one, nobody really knows what's going on right now. I'm not anti-free speech, but man, there are so many loud voices in the world right now that you can hear 5 different things about Corona. And the CDC and the World Health Organization should be the main sources of information for us as a nation, but I'm seeing discrepancies in the way they responded. Trump's defunding WHO. I think that's mostly based off the fact that they might have been colluding with China and covering up information. Everybody knows China's a communist country. This is common knowledge, and there's assumptions that maybe they're hiding information about this whole Corona thing, and that WHO also suppressed it. And you can get all tin-hatty about it, but that's not what I'm here to do. I'm just stating the fact that you can listen to the doctors that are coming out personal experiences, and you got to take them for a grain of salt, because they might even just be trying to downplay it. But doctors coming out and saying it's not that big of a deal, and here's this, here's that, and the other, and then you got more aggressive, maybe some CNN casters or people that they talk to that are blowing this up. There's just information all over the place, man. It's hard to put your foot down, and it's insane. What's information, what's real information? But another thing that had me interested was, as of lunch today, it is, by the way, April 20th. What is it? About lunch today, I was seeing that there was a watch party, several of them I scrolled by, all kinds of different individuals sharing the protests in Harrisburg, which it looked like thousands of people, 1,000, 2,000. I couldn't get a good angle on it because there were so many different crowd angles, but they were speaking and protesting the shutdown of businesses, and it's wow, it's crazy. I was bringing this up to people at work, and immediately you could see the people that are immediately latching on to the COVID and oh, this is stupid, you guys are all gonna get COVID now. And then the one guy is a little bit more radical, and he was yeah, well, some of the doctors are sure, whatever, we can open these business up, but sign that we won't treat you or something like that. I don't even know where he got that from. I'd need to do more homework on it. But first, of course, everybody's go right to the fact that a big group gathering, one of those thousands of people has Corona. Now they're all or majority of them is gonna have it, and I get that. But I'm sitting back here looking at the bigger picture, and I'm not trying to pick right or wrong. I'm okay, so there's protests. Protests to confront something they don't agree with. Okay, so these people are protesting the shutdown of PA, and it's okay, well, why would they do that? Okay, they don't want to stay in anymore. Well, you'd think I don't know, 1 in 4 people would maybe just be like okay with this, like sure, like whatever, I'll stay home, I got money, maybe, you know, I don't know, like I'm thinking slacker, not so much people that are financially suitable, but I'm looking at this from the perspective that like, wow, okay, so people are starting to protest because either A, they're bored out of their mind, or B, they don't have any money, and like that's a problem. Okay, we just got a stimulus check, and now all these protests are starting to come out. Now I'm gonna go on the record and say that I don't know if it's everywhere else too. I'm not like super researched on this, but you know, of course, I'm being a PA resident, I'm seeing a lot of PA politics, so this might be old news. There might be people that are already protesting in other major cities, but like, wow, this is the start. So we got the stimulus check, and most got it. I know a lot of people that did get it. I know there's people that aren't, you know, and that's, everybody's situation is different. Same applies for unemployment. I'm seeing people that got it, no big deal, and other people that are having problems themselves. But this being said, that's a lot of people preceding a stimulus check, and I don't expect $1,200 to keep everybody's lifestyle afloat. But, you know, if that was any type of bailout to allow you to get money and, you know, maybe at least pay your rent once so that you can, you know, make do, like, this is the start. This is stage 1 of, like, civil unrest, and that's what has me worried. Like, if somebody doesn't, you know, and I don't have the answers, so, you know, don't expect me to be a know-it-all. But, like, if something doesn't happen, like, this could spiral, you know, like, right now they're protesting because they're running out of food and money, and, you know, they can't afford their prescriptions or, you know, whatever, and it's, like, hard because what can be done is, like, indeterminate right now. Like, after, like, the housing crash, for example, and you know, there was financial problems, and there's bailouts, and maybe people need stimulus or whatever to keep everything afloat. Like, imagine if something happened to the economy that was so bad that, like, what is it right now? 1 in 5, I think, in PA I saw is unemployed right now. What if something that wasn't a viral catastrophe happened? Like, people were theorizing that auto loan bubbles was going to be a thing because how auto loans have just been getting so huge. You know, people are paying $350 a month without, like, excluding insurance, a month on vehicles that they can't afford. You know, you can go on Dave Ramsey and listen to people get yelled at because they're driving $60,000 truck and they make $42,000 a year, and he's like, how does this make sense, people? That's another story. Anyways, the point being, imagine if that was like a real thing. People were talking about automobile bubble and, like, you know, all this debt, automobile debt, or all this college debt, you know, and it's just suppressing people that can't make money, and they can't buy food, clothes, leisure items because they're spending it all on necessities. Or, like, people in my generation aren't having kids because they wouldn't be able to afford them. They can hardly take care of themselves. They can hardly afford co-pays and medical visits if they have to do them. So, that being said, if a metaphorical bubble like that popped and 1 in 5 people were unemployed, okay, sure, maybe you could open a soup kitchen and feed people, you know, or open up one of the local, like, the baseball, I mean, ours is an open baseball field, but, like, one of the civic centers where they're not doing any type of hockey, basketball, any of that stuff. Imagine they open that up, cool, like, now you can, maybe people that lose their homes or get foreclosed on because they can't afford the mortgage, those people have a place to go or a place to eat. Like, all that stuff is, like, off the table right now because you can't have mass gatherings unless people just bite the bullet. But I think there's gonna be a lot of resistance because there's, just like any scenario, politics, mass shootings, abortion, you name it, there's like an A and a B party, or a C and a D, it doesn't matter. You know, a mass shooting, there's people that are like, cool, we need a gun control. Or there's people that are like, hey, we need to take care of the depressed in our country. Or C, hey, we need to hire some veterans to, like, watch schools. You know, there's always, everybody's got different stance. So there's going to be the people that respond to, oh, you're opening soup kitchens? What, so now all of the people that need help can get sick because they're all, you know, there's going to be people that react negatively to it. And then there's going to be people that will be like, yeah, you know, like, it's worth the risk. And so the bottom line here is, like, man, like it said, I think it's step one, you know, and there's a lot of opportunities to do right here, and then there's probably more opportunities to do wrong. I'm not pretending to know the solution, but I know a lot of practical applications aren't going to work very well, because a month out, I think it was March 17th or 18th was when they ordered non-essentials. It's been a month, because I know my girlfriend hasn't been working for a month, and then when April rolled around, they extended it to the end of April. And so I just remember her being like, man, like another month, and it had already been 2 weeks of, you know, quarantine. So a month out, I was listening to, before I get into that, a month out, man, like that's, for some people, now there's the financially smart that, you know, had money to handle that, and then there's people that live check to check, which was getting me on our next point. I was hearing, I would like to go do my own homework on it, hearing about like 40% of America lives check to check, which is, that's 1 in 5, man. 1 in 5 people you know needs that check every Friday, and I know they exist because I watch people at work, they get their check on Thursday, will immediately on their lunch go and cash their check, and then maybe grab a sandwich real quick at Co-Fare if they have time, because they need that check to be in their account for bills, or, you know, their wife at the house needs to go get groceries or whatever, you know. Like, there's people that are like that. 40% of the population can't handle their check to check, and then 50 to like 60% of the population, somewhere in that range, can't handle an expense over $400. You know, like a copay, or, you know, a flat tire, or anything more than that. You know, like $1,000 hit. Like they can't financially like take that burden. So that being said, you're gonna tell me that half of this country, or whatever state jurisdiction that this was done in, I'm assuming it's the country, but I'm not well educated enough on the statistic to confirm it. It might even be exaggerated. It might even be a quarter. But that being said, 1 in 4. You said 25%. Think of all the people our age that you may or may not know, even adults. They're like 1 in 4 can't live check to check, and it's been 4 whole pay periods for the average person. All right, so what are they eating now? Like some cans they've had laying around for a while. Maybe they're finally run out of ramen noodles. Maybe they can't even afford like fast food. They got to start buying like literally corn, beans, rice, and then like they're on their last leg. Like, I think this is step one. I mean, I would like to imagine that the unemployment is kind of keeping this at bay, or the stimulus checks also kind of help keep it afloat. But man, I don't know. That's my my focus point for this whole talk is, you know, I'm kind of worried of the future. I don't want to see civil unrest. I think nobody does, because civil unrest affects everybody, even people like me that are working on a regular basis. I have more than enough to help people in my circle. None of them need help because I think all of them have unemployment, or they're, you know, financially pretty good right now. But like, I'm doing okay, but as soon as civil unrest settles in and people don't have money to buy food and they start starving, and they're just going to go to Walmart and just start taking things, you know, and it's not going to be just one. It'll be Dollar General, it'll be Wegmans, you know, and cops will have to come in. Maybe it'll be a state lockdown, martial law, and then like it's going to be hard for me to get food, or I have to worry about people looting and rioting, you know. Like, I live away from town, so like that's cool, but that doesn't just clear out my problems. So I don't mean to spook anybody, but you know, I just wanted to go on a rant here, because this could be a pretty shaky future. So if you made it this far and you like listening to my crap, go ahead and give me a like or a comment. I like comments because I'm still new to making content. I like to hear what people think. But I'm gonna wrap this video up, so